I mean, are you rooting for the Sky? You're rooting for Angel? You're shitting on a really damn good player right there, by the way. Stop acting like y'all didn't give it to her. We saw the stats at the middle and end of the season. Us Chicagoans love Angel. Oh, but it didn't stop there. I hate you guys. We will make it known at Wintrust. Will you? Because you don't even sell it out for Angel. Question mark. You don't. I mean, you're 1,000 and 1,500 fans light every night of selling that place out. Unless Caitlin's around.
Loudest statement they could without saying a single word. And Angel Reese, she's not going to like this one bit. When your own team picks someone else as player of the year after you spent months trashing your teammates in public, that's not just a snub. That's a message. And this guy just delivered it with a megaphone. Here's what nobody's talking about. Angel Reese threw her entire roster under the bus. She went to the Chicago Tribune and basically said her teammates weren't good enough to play with her. She demanded roster changes. She questioned veterans' ages and abilities. She made it crystal clear that everyone around her was the problem. And then the Chicago Sky turned around and named Camilla.
Angel Reese plans on remaining with the Chicago Sky after Rocky in the 2025. You may be like, Rocky, question mark? Yeah, you don't remember? She threw all of her teammates under the bus and then ran the bus over them. In that interview that came out, I think it was the Chicago Sun-Times. And her teammates, nah, they wasn't having it. Gave her the cold shoulder. The Sky gave her a suspension.
Cardoso, their player of the year, not Angel Reese, the player who actually showed up to work. 40 games played. Let that number sink in for a second. 40 games. You know how many Angel Reese played? 30. And those 10 missing games? They tell you everything you need to know about who the Chicago Sky wants to build around. This isn't just about basketball anymore.
The games played. Woo! A lot can be taken from the 40 games played statistic, right? Because let's be honest, here's Angel. 30 games played. 30 games played. And we don't know where the mindset is of this front office.
This is about professionalism. This is about showing up when your team needs you. This is about not disappearing when things get tough. And on every single one of those metrics, Camila Cardoso destroyed Angel Reese. Let's talk about what Angel actually said, because this wasn't some misunderstood comment taken out of context. She told the Tribune straight up that she wasn't settling for what the team had. She said they needed to get good players and great players. Non-negotiable. Those were her exact words. Think about that for a second. Your teammate goes to the media and says the roster isn't good enough, while you're in that same locker room, while you're putting in the work every single day. How do you come back from that? And here's the kicker. Sky had already bent over backwards for Angel Reese. They traded for Ariel Atkins to give her a veteran presence. They made roster moves with her development in mind. They gave her everything she asked for, and she repaid them by going public and saying it still wasn't enough. Courtney Vanderloot had to defend herself after Angel questioned whether they could rely on someone her age coming back from an ACL injury. Think about that disrespect. Vanderloot is a two-time WNBA champion, five-time All-Star, two-time All-WNBA first team. She left the New York Liberty, an actual championship contender, to come help Chicago, and Angel Reese said they couldn't rely on her because of her age. The locker room imploded immediately. Rachel Bannum said she was over all the drama. Ariel Atkins had to acknowledge they were addressing it internally. Even the head coach called it a top-down organizational decision. That's code for we have a serious problem on our hands. But Angel's words weren't the only issue. It was her actions. Or should I say, her lack of actions. The Sky kept listing Angel as day-to-day for weeks. No real updates, no medical details, no timeline, just day-to-day. Meanwhile, her teammates are out there getting blown out trying to make the playoffs. And nobody knows if their supposed star is actually hurt or if she's just done with the season. And where was Angel during all this mysterious injury drama? She was in Indiana promoting her Reebok sneakers. She was on social media talking about taking over Caitlin Clark's territory. She was hyping up shoe releases like it was the biggest event of the year, but playing basketball for the team, paying her salary. Suddenly, her back hurt too much for that. Fans started calling her the Vanishing Barbie because she had a habit of disappearing whenever accountability showed up. And honestly, that nickname might be too generous. The technical fouls tell their own story. Angel racked up 8 technicals during the season. 8. That earned her an automatic suspension. The final one came when she struck Aaliyah Edwards in the head, going for a rebound. And that suspension, it happened right before the Indiana Fever game. Exact matchup everyone wanted to see. So, let me get this straight. You publicly trash your teammates. You question their abilities and demand they get replaced. You disappear for mysterious injuries while promoting sneakers. You get yourself suspended for lack of discipline. And then you expect the organization to name you Player of the Year. The Chicago Sky said absolutely not. And they did it in the most public way possible. Camila Cardoso earned this award the old-fashioned way. She showed up 40 games played, 15 times Player of the Game, 6 times Player of the Week, 2 times Player of the Month. These aren't participation trophies. These are earned through consistent excellence and professionalism. You know what Cardoso is doing right now? She's overseas dominating